Would I be the a-hole if I continued with my divorce after my wife accused me of cheating and kissed someone else? I, 36M, have been married to Lily, 36F, for 16 years, and we've been together for 21 years. We met during our freshman year, and up until a couple of months ago, we were each other's one and only. We both went to the same college and got married at 20 despite my parents' protests. We have a 6-year-old together, and overall, I'd say we've had a great marriage and family life. 6 months ago, one of my wife's friends, let's call her Adrian, told my wife that I had been cheating on her for years. This is obviously a lie. She only did this because she found out her now ex-husband of 5 years, let's call him Steve, had been cheating on her for their entire relationship. Steve and I were good friends, and he told Adrian that I was cheating as well. Now, I had my suspicions that Steve was cheating because he never immediately shut down female attention whenever we hung out together, and he constantly complained that his wife didn't sleep with him enough. However, I never had any solid proof, so I never told Adrian. While that may make me a little bit of an a-hole, I never cheated on my wife, nor do I condone cheating. My father cheated on my mother, and I saw how badly that hurt her. I swore I would never do that to my wife. My wife kicked me out and told my parents, her parents, and our friends what Adrian had told her. 2 months later, she filed for divorce, and I have been dragging out the process. However, 2 months ago, she sent me a picture of herself kissing another guy, with him touching her inappropriately, as incentive for me to finalize the divorce. I was devastated and finally ready to divorce her. However, 2 weeks later, Steve confessed that he had lied to Adrian, and Adrian told Lily. For the past month and a half, Lily has been begging me to reconcile with her and go to counseling together. But honestly, I can't forgive her for the video or her lack of trust in me. She believed Steve's words, with no proof, over mine, and she slandered my name to my friends and family. Would I be the a-hole if I continued with the divorce? Edit 1. Many of you are wondering why my wife was so quick to believe Adrian without proof, and I have to say she did have slightly valid reasons not to completely believe me. Steve and I hung out for hours without our wives multiple times, and we even went on a couple of weekend boys' trips with other mutual friends, so the opportunity was there. I have been caught lying to my wife's face before, but these were small white lies and not me hiding an affair. It was more mundane stuff, like saying I took out the trash when I didn't or watching our shows without her. I have also admitted to my wife that I did things in private while publicly denying them, like stealing my brother's wallet when we were younger and then losing it. Also, when Steve was first confronted about his affair, he claimed that he and his friends would pick up women together, although he didn't mention me by name until later. All of this is to say that I understood Lily's hesitation, but when push came to shove, she believed Steve, a liar and a cheater, over me without proof, and I suffered for months because of it. Update 1. Sorry for not updating sooner, but a lot has happened. First, I want to thank all of you for your support and advice. It really helped me organize my thoughts and feelings. I decided to take your advice and try marriage counseling. I'll probably start individual therapy later, but right now I just don't have the time. We had our first session a week ago, and it was brutal for both me and Lily, my wife's name, if you didn't read the original post. It essentially went like this. The therapist said the main issue in our marriage was a lack of trust. I responded by asking how I could trust that Lily hadn't slept with the guy from the video when I had some new, damning evidence suggesting she had done more than just kiss him. I may sound crazy for this, but after confirming which bar she was at, what day she was there, and what time she took the video, I went there myself. I told the manager that my wife had been assaulted by a man there and that we were trying to gather evidence for the police. I asked if I could access their security cameras. I had to reassure them that I wasn't trying to sue the bar and only wanted the footage. They let me into the back. After giving them the approximate time Lily claimed they met up and when the kissing started, we watched the footage. After seeing what I already knew had happened, I watched Lily and the guy leave together. They were walking arm in arm like a couple. The manager looked at me and said, "It looks like your wife wasn't assaulted. She lied to you to cover up her cheating." I recorded the security footage on my phone and showed it to Lily during therapy. I said, "You swore you didn't go home with him, but here you are leaving with him." She immediately broke down crying and admitted what both I and many others had already suspected. She had slept with him. I asked how she could try to get us back together while lying about not sleeping with him when she obviously had. She said she knew I wouldn't take her back if I knew the truth and that, deep down, she never wanted to hurt me that badly. That's why she only sent me the video of them kissing instead of a recording of them having sex. I was devastated and started tearing up as well. Even though we weren't each other's first kiss, we had been each other's only intimate partners. I always compared us to Lily and Marshall from How I Met Your Mother because of how similar we were. Now that image is completely ruined. The counselor asked how I wanted to respond to this new information. I told her exactly what I told all of you above. Honestly, in my anger, I said our marriage wasn't special anymore. I said I didn't see how we could ever have a loving relationship again, and above all else, I wanted to sleep with another person since she had gotten to explore someone else. That caused Lily to start hyperventilating, and she eventually left the room. The counselor and I continued talking. She said that my desire to get back at Lily was exactly how Lily had felt, and that was what drove her to do what she did. She told me that getting revenge on your partner is not how you fix a marriage and gave me some exercises to work on with Lily. That was a week ago. Since then, Lily and I have talked, and I told her I haven't slept with anybody because I haven't. We have another counseling session tomorrow, but after what happened in the last one, I wanted to know if you all think this marriage is still worth fighting for. I also haven't told anyone about these Reddit posts, nor have I told my family, her family, or our friends that Lily did, in fact, sleep with the other guy. Edit, I made an update to this post that answers most of the questions I've been getting. Final update, well, we had our second counseling session yesterday, and a lot has happened. First and foremost, I'll get straight to the point. We are getting a divorce. I am still mourning the marriage, but I am resolute in my decision. I'm also kind of excited to start a new chapter in life because, before this whole thing started, I felt like my life was in limbo and I was just going through the motions. Now, on to the update. When we arrived, the counselor asked me if I still felt like our marriage wasn't special anymore. I told her yes and said that I honestly thought we should just get a divorce. I expected Lily to start freaking out again, but surprisingly, she agreed. I asked her what had changed from the week before. She said hearing me talk about our marriage the way I did made her realize that I truly was done and that it would be selfish of her to continue fighting for something she knew, deep down, I no longer wanted. I told her I appreciated that. Despite everything, I still love her, but I just can't be with her, at least for the foreseeable future. I asked her why she had chosen to believe other people over me despite us being together for 21 years. I told her that was really the crux of the issue for me, not the sex. While that certainly hurt, I could at least rationalize why it happened after she believed I had cheated. What I couldn't rationalize was why she didn't believe me in the first place. She said that maybe the seeds had been planted over the years by my mother, who frequently talked about my father's affairs and how she never suspected anything because he acted normal, loving, and was otherwise a great husband. She said that after hearing those stories for 2 decades, she developed an underlying suspicion that anyone could hide something like that. She also admitted that she still resented me a little. 6 years ago, when we both turned 30, we started thinking about the fact that neither of us had ever had the chance to truly be independent adults. Not long afterward, she became pregnant, and we both felt like leaving was no longer an option. We had multiple conversations about those feelings, and I genuinely believed we had moved past them, especially after our baby was born. Lily never experienced postpartum depression, so it was an incredibly happy time for us. Apparently, though, she never completely let go of that resentment. When she believed I had cheated, she felt that all of those sacrifices had been for nothing. She decided she wanted to take the opportunity to explore before she reached menopause. While that was painful to hear, I can sympathize because that's part of the reason I was ready for a divorce as well. I wanted the chance to explore too, and I had been fully prepared to come into that counseling session asking for either a hall pass or an open marriage as a condition for reconciliation. After that revelation, I told her I would not be fighting for sole custody. Instead, I wanted 50-50 custody because I want to see our child as much as possible, but I also want our child to have their mother in their life. She said she wouldn't stand in my way, and I believe her because throughout all of this, she never withheld our child from me. I also asked her if she had ever cheated on me before all of this. I told her that our marriage was already over, so I just needed the truth. She said she had never cheated during our marriage and that the incident at the bar was the first time she had ever been intimate with someone besides me. She even offered to do a paternity test to prove our son is mine if I didn't believe her. I do believe her, though, and I probably won't ask for a paternity test because my son looks just like me. I also reaffirmed that I never cheated on her. Honestly, I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I don't really have to worry too much about the divorce because we were already 2 months into the process before all of this came to light. I do wish things could have turned out differently, but I think it's probably best that we don't get back together right now. Maybe we could reconcile 5 or 10 years from now, but I think time apart is what's best for both of us. I also showed Lily and the counselor my 2 Reddit posts. While the counselor didn't think it was a good idea to bring online strangers into my marriage, she did say it was healthy that I found somewhere to vent. Thank you to everyone who listened and gave me advice. I truly appreciated the support.